July 1976, Nice, France. A quiet summer weekend, empty streets, banks closed. And beneath one of Europe's largest banks, a group of criminals is digging a tunnel. They spend the entire weekend inside, eating, drinking wine, opening safe after safe with no rush at all. And when they finally leave, they leave behind a handwritten note for the police. No hatred, no weapons, no violence. They walk away with the equivalent of more than $40 million, and none of them ever spends a single day in prison. So how did these criminals steal $40 million, embarrass the French police, and live the rest of his life as a free man? To understand what happened that weekend, you have to understand the man behind it. His name was Albert Spaggiari, a man who didn't look like a criminal at all, a professional photographer, well-dressed, polite, with the refined accent and manners of someone used to fine restaurants. But behind that calm appearance was a mind obsessed with a single goal: robbing the Société Générale. Société Générale was one of the most important banks in France, and the Nice branch had a legendary underground vault. A vault, essentially a reinforced underground chamber designed to be impenetrable, with concrete walls more than a meter thick. Hundreds of individual safe deposit boxes rented by wealthy clients in the region. Jewelry, cash, works of art, confidential documents, everything stored down there. Spaggiari studied that bank for months. He visited the branch several times as an ordinary customer, watching everything, mapping everything. And eventually he noticed something no one else had. The bank sat just a few meters away from an old sewer system running beneath that part of the city. An underground passage that ran directly beneath the vault. If someone could enter that sewer and dig in the right direction, they would end up directly beneath the vault floor, without going through the front door, without facing any security, without being seen. Spaggiari assembled a small team of trusted people, each with a different skill. Some knew how to dig, others knew how to crack safes, others kept watch outside. For weeks they entered the sewer system at night, digging centimeter by centimeter toward the bank, quietly, carefully, leaving no trace, until the right moment finally arrived. The weekend of July 14th, France's national holiday, Bastille Day, the day the entire country shuts down. Banks close on Friday and reopen on Monday. 3 full days with no one inside the building. The perfect window. On Friday night, when the last bank employee turned off the lights and locked the doors, Spaggiari's team was already preparing. They entered through the sewer like they had done so many times before, reached the point they had been digging toward for weeks, and began breaking through the concrete. The vault floor finally gave way. They were inside. But what they did next is what made this story different from any other robbery in history. They didn't rush. There was no reason to. They had the entire weekend. So they did what any French group might do on a summer weekend. They relaxed. They brought food, cheese, bread, wine. They basically set up a small camp inside the vault and started opening the boxes one by one, slowly, carefully, with absolutely no hurry. Each safe deposit box was opened using specialized tools. Valuables were sorted. Anything worth taking was packed away. Anything useless was left behind. They spent hours down there, eating, drinking, talking, as if they owned the place. The walls of the vault were soon covered with handwritten messages, phrases, jokes, even drawings. And before leaving, Spaggiari wrote one final message to the police. Elegant, calm, without anger, without weapons, without violence. It was almost like a calling card, a signature. Late Sunday night, heading into Monday morning, they left through the same tunnel they had used to enter. carrying the equivalent of more than $40 million in jewelry, cash, and valuables. When bank employees opened the building Monday morning, they found the vault completely destroyed. And that note written on the wall. The news of the robbery exploded across France. Newspapers called it the perfect crime. French police were stunned. Someone had entered one of the most secure vaults in the country, spent an entire weekend inside, and walked away with everything. Without firing a single shot, without hurting anyone, without leaving fingerprints. The investigation that followed was massive. Hundreds of officers mobilized. The sewer system searched meter by meter. Witnesses questioned across the entire region of Nice. Slowly, investigators began circling a name: Albert Spaggiari. He was arrested months after the robbery, taken in for interrogation. He openly admitted planning everything, talked about the tunnel, the weekend inside the vault, the food and the wine, the note left behind, without showing the slightest regret, as if he were simply telling a story. His trial began in 1977, but Spaggiari never stayed long enough to see how it ended. During one of the court hearings, he asked to show the judge a document. He approached the desk, and in one quick motion, jumped out of a second-floor window. He landed on the roof of a parked car outside, got up, jumped onto a motorcycle waiting for him, and disappeared. French police never found him again. Spaggiari spent the rest of his life on the run, traveling across Europe, writing a book about the robbery, giving interviews. He died in 1989 without ever being arrested again. The stolen money and jewelry? Never recovered. To this day, no one knows where it ended up. The Société Générale heist in Nice went down in history not because of violence, but because of audacity, because of elegance, because of the cold precision of a man who planned the perfect crime, ate and drank inside the vault, and escaped by jumping out of a courtroom window. Sometimes real life is stranger than any movie. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories about crime, business, and hackers every week.